quick video on tortoise health checks. So whether you're buying a new tortoise and you want to know what to look for signs of healthiness, or you've got a tortoise and you're just a bit worried about it and you want some tips and advice. So if you're buying a new tortoise, this is an Indian store, so they all do look a little bit different. But Igwe's modelling for us today, aren't you, sweetheart? So when you pick them up, even if it's a little tortoise and it's a bit shy and it like tucks its head away and you can't see it, it should still come out and give you a bit of a kick, maybe wee on you. That's all good signs, just they've got a bit of life to them. Also, if you can see the eyes, they should be quite bright, no bubbling or anything like that, and the shell should be quite hard and tough. There should be a good weight. If you want to ask them what they've been eating, what their favourites are, just to make sure they are eating well before you buy them, because when you move them they do get stressed anyway, so it's important that they have been eating well before you get them. You all have the favourite foods as well, so I mean Igwe for instance will chow through chicory like nobody's business. If you've already got a tortoise and it's getting to the time of year where it's getting a bit cooler, you're a bit concerned that either they're not eating as well or they might have a bit of a cold, first thing to do for any reptile is always check your temperatures, especially now when the temperature's dropped. Even when it's been the right temperature all year, what you might find is the nighttime temperature's dipping a bit low and you might need a heat map for during the night time, or you might need a high wattage bulb for during the day just to get the heat up slightly. Always make sure you've got your thermometers as well, so you know what temperature you're talking about when you're looking. What might be a good idea as well, the way to check if it's got a respiratory, if you hear any noises like rattling or coughing for example, if you pick him up and put him by your ear, when he's breathing you'd be able to hear like a clicking or a bit of a wheezing noise. If you do hear that, I mean you can always take them to the vet straight away, but again what you can do as a quick go-to method, raise your temperatures first off, that always helps. We also sell ReptiBoost, and that's like an energy drink packed full of vitamins and minerals for reptiles, and it just, if you put this in with your bath, it's got the measurements on the side but we can help you with that as well. Bath them daily, make sure they're getting plenty of this. Raise your temperatures, that generally helps them, just get rid of it. But what you would notice, if it's quite serious, they'd get lots of bubbling around the eyes, bubbling in the nose, and they'd be really vocal when they're breathing. I mean at that point just take them to the vets, because they can give you injections, or they can also x-ray the lungs. The lungs on a tortoise are at the very top of the shell, so they can check that. What you also might find, it's really important for tortoises with diet. If you notice the poos are really runny, got a bit of diarrhoea, what you might find is they need more fibre in the diet. So if you feed them anything like lettuce, cucumber, tomatoes, they're not great, they're not very nutritional, they're just really watery. So what you find is the poos are really runny. What you might need is, first of all, we can give you a vegetable diet, just so you know what you should be feeding them. We also sell your dried leaf mix, which is really good for extra fibre. You can also give them hay from your local pet shop. So Wildlife and Pets is only 2 doors up from us, and they sell all your hays that you'd use for rabbits, and they're really good in bedding, just as a bit of dry food, just to help them with more fibre and get that poo a bit more solid. Diet wise as well, we do sell the dried mix, and if you're using dried mix, make sure first of all you're wetting it down, but also make sure they're still getting the leafy greens in there as well, because it's quite high in protein. If your tortoise is getting a bit too much protein, what you'll find is the segments of the shell will become really angular. So, it's quite a good example. Indian star tortoises should have slightly raised shells anyway, but say you've got a horse field, if it's really pyramiding, then that's a definite no. That's
a poor diet.
Yeah, that's a really poor diet, yeah. So get it to the vet straight away. Make sure you, first of all, check what you're feeding it. Make sure you cut any like excessive amount of protein out. Shell wise as well, if he's particularly flat around there, that's usually a sign of calcium. So if its shell's quite flat and they're struggling walking, or it's soft at all, that's a really serious problem. What you need to do straight away is check your UV. So all tortoises always need UV and calcium powder. And when you're buying calcium powder, make sure it said it's got the D3 on it. You need to buy these together, because there's no point having one without the other, because it won't work, and that basically helps all your shell growth. So the shell should be nice and hard, and it should grow well. It should be nice shape, so you can still kick and move around. UV will need replacing every year. So some people buy them and then 5 years later the shell's not grown properly, and even though the light's still working, the UV, it doesn't emit the same. So even though your light might still be on and it works fine, it's not emitting the same amount of UV, so they're not getting any benefits from that light. So if you get a new light, make sure you write on it what date you got it, and then you know for next year when to replace it. And it's really, what you'll notice straight away is the brightness for a start, and it also, usually they do pick up as well. They know when it's got fresh UV in there, they get a lot livelier. Calcium wise as well, it's great for tortoises to have a cuttlefish. They won't always eat them, but some will, and this really helps with the beak. So you see on his grey, there's no real overlap on the top side of his beak. You're going to quack first now. But if it was really overgrown, so you see some tortoises where this top side of the beak literally hangs down, it shouldn't do that. What you need to do is take them to the vets and get that trimmed, and it'll help them. You can give them cuttlefish to help wear it down, and in future if you give them big slices like whole leaves of chicory or whole leaves of pak choi, and they'll use their beak and their claws to tear that down, and that'll help with general day-to-day wear. Nail wise as well, see his nails are pretty short because he's got loads of rocks in his tank that wear it down, and but if they were really long, we can trim them here, or you can take them to the vets to be trimmed as well. And then if you get some more rocks in your tank, that'll help just wear them down day to day, because they do like climbing, so they will naturally wear them down. And again, when they're breaking up bits of food, that'll help with that as well. But yeah, so that's your general health checks to look for, or any problems you might have. Again, you can always ask at vets if you're unsure, or always ask us for advice. We're always happy to give it. That's a general go-to. That's what we'd recommend. If you've got any comments or you want to see any more videos, if you just comment and like our post, and we'll do some more for you. Thanks very much.